insidious. On the surface, far above this hidden bunker, the sun continues to shine brightly. Normal traffic flows. The world remains.
But in this concrete catacomb, the air crackles with a new, terrifying silence.
Miles above, in the cold vacuum of orbit, the satellite is blind. Its sensors are saturated by an invisible energy beam. This is not a hypothetical scenario from the future. This is the unseen front line of the 21st century. A continuous...
The modern battle for global supremacy is no longer just about claiming territory. It's not about planting flags in soil.
It is a silent scramble for two critical domains, the high ground of the Aether, orbital shells, and the spectrum. This is the new great game, a global contest for ultimate control. Its opening moves are being made not by soldiers.
We have built a modern civilization balanced on a pinhead of data. Every financial transaction. This domain is the Aether. It is the new realm of geopolitics, where nations project their...
The orbits above our planet are now the most valuable real estate in the solar system. These orbital pathways are...
For decades, space was the exclusive domain of only two superpowers. It was a stark, binary...
The satellites were few, their capabilities revolutionary but singular. They were the ultimate reconnaissance tools. But that entire era is over. Today, a new constellation of global has entered the field. This orbital battlefield is no longer a simple chessboard. It has become a chaotic, three-dimensional melee. The weaponization of this domain is subtle, insidious, and remains largely invisible to the public.
Electronic warfare, once confined to battlefields, has gone orbital. Disguised ground stations can focus power.
This is it. Stop killing. A completely responsible act of aggression.
But tactics are evolving beyond jamming. Spoofing is the new insidious art. An enemy signal doesn't just...
It feeds the weapon's digital brain a false reality, while guiding it harmlessly into the ocean or back to its origin.
Then, there are the hard kill systems. These invoke the terrifying specter of cascading debris.
A multi-stage rocket soars into the heavens. Its only mission is to physically collide with a target satellite at velocities exceeding 17,000 miles per hour.
The result is not a clean kill. It's an explosion of shrapnel, a cloud of thousands of tiny projectiles.
But the true escalation is more subtle. It's a predator's game of cat and mouse played out in the vacuum. These are the...
A nation launches a satellite. It is designated for debris removals or on-orbit inspection. It is equipped with instruments. It begins its life performing legitimate tasks. But then, one day, it alters its orbit.
It parks itself just a few kilometers away, listening. Is it mapping its frequencies? Is it probing its defenses?
Waiting for a signal from the ground to extend its robotic arm and simply push. A gentle nudge could send the target tumbling into an unrecoverable fatal.
Or it could use a laser to blind the enemy's sensors. It could deploy a cloud of microwave jamming chaff. Or it is a space mine waiting to detonate. The US Space Force, China's PLAS, and Russian Space Forces are investing billions. The first shot may be an
The infrastructure of this orbital warfare is a new frontier. Traditional command relied on massive, fixed ground stations.
The new doctrine is one of resilience and disaggregation. Ground stations are now mobile, mounted on trucks or ships.
The satellites themselves are also changing. The era of the single
This is the logic behind systems like Starlink and its military counterpart, Starshield. It is a new nerve.
They will achieve victory by default. They will simply turn off the other side's ability to coordinate, to communicate, and to effectively fight a modern war.
But supremacy in the heavens, in the clear, observable domain of the Aether, is only half of the equation.
This is the abyss, the deep ocean. Over 99% of all transcontinental data travels through this network. These fiber optic cables For decades, the strategic focus of the deep ocean was singular, the nuclear deterrent. The dark canyons were hunting grounds.
Ethics. It was what happened home. It was a deadly, silent mouse.
This game continues. New submarines like the American Virginia class or Russian Yasin M. They are quieter than the ocean's background noise. They deploy unmanned underwater vehicles, or UUV. The deep ocean, once only a hiding place, has fundamentally changed. It is now a primary domain from which the focus has shifted from midwater to the seabed itself.
Russia's GUGI operates specialized vessels that are nightmares for NATO planners. The ship Yantar, a research vessel.
It deploys deep-sea submersibles. More notoriously, the Belgorod submarine is a mothership for the Losharik.
The mission for these advanced and secretive platforms is explicit.
Imagine the scenario. It begins not with a missile, but a flicker in financial markets. London, New York.
The global banking system grinds to a halt. Military command centers find their high-bandwidth data links severed.
This is not cyber warfare. A hacker has not breached a firewall. ASAT.
Or, perhaps worse, it's not cut, but tapped. A specialized device is clamped onto the cable, siphoned. This is the strategic threat. It causes economic paralysis and civilian panic without firing a shot. The defense against this is agonizingly difficult. The ocean is vast. The cables span hundreds of thousands of miles.
The response is a new generation of undersea surveillance. The U.S. Navy's IUS, the old SOSUS network that once hunted so.
New autonomous UUVs, like the Boeing Orca, are extra-large platforms. They patrol dark cable routes for months.
It is a new arms race to map the seabed and create a transparent ocean. But the ocean resists.
The genius and the terror of this new conflict is how these two domains, the abyss and the Aether, are.
The modern military apparatus is a system of systems. A satellite, the eye in the Aether, detects a target.
That targeting data, that single packet of information, is the find. It is beamed down, processed, and then transmitted to the fix and finish assets. That kill order does not travel back up into space. It's injected into the global fiber-optic network. It travels at light.
This is the kill chain. The new doctrine of warfare is not about creating a bigger explosion. It's about this.
Or they can sever the cable in the abyss.
But the finisher message.
This is the new combined arms warfare. It is a battle of signals, bandwidth, and connectivity.
This convergence creates a new strategic targets. It's no longer just power plants or bridges. It's the civilian ground stations that rent bandwidth. It is the ocean choke points.
These are the new Fulda gaps of the 21st century. They are being quietly, relentlessly militarized. AI is the tool that fuses data from the Aether and the Abyss. It notices a correlation no human ever could, a bandwidth drop in the Abyss,
which occurs just seconds after a specific weather satellite passes lateral. This is the war before the war. It is a conflict of setting the battlefield.
It is the digital equivalent of the Blitzkrieg, a sudden, shocking, and total collapse of the enemy's. The hot war that follows, the clash of tanks and planes, is merely a cleanup operation. The victor is the one who controls the flow of data. It is the nation who masters the spectrum, and the one who ultimately owns the critical seabed.
But in the gray zone of the Abyss and Aether, what is the red line? Is jamming a satellite an act of war? Is a stalker satellite a casus belli?
If a cable is cut and an economy is frozen, is that justification for war?
It creates a vast of blind deafen.
We are building the world's most complex and fragile military machine. We are handing the triggers, one by one.
Not respond once on hyper-spawn counter missile.
This is the paradox of the Silent Scramble. In our quest for information dominance, we are building a complex system that may... The future of global power will not be decided by the loud clash of armies. It will be decided by the silent, invisible, and continuous struggle for data.
The fight for the Abyss and the Aether is the fight for the 21st century. It is happening now, all around us.
The silence that we currently perceive is not peace. It is the sound of the new war. The final battle for supremacy has already begun.